Welcome back to the Sorry Not Sorry podcast, where we talk about everything and anything that comes to mind, because what else are podcasts for? I was thinking one day I'm going to look back at this and I'm either going to laugh or cry. It's either going to be like happy tears because it took off and I somehow made something that wasn't supposed to be into something. Or I'm going to laugh at how fucking stupid I was because I'm about to be 33 years old and deciding to start a podcast. But anyway, nor here or there, here we are. So we're in the new year. It's officially 2024. It's another year, I'm hungry because it's 1:24 in the morning. I have to stop doing this. This is how I know I have a problem. It's like when I would have a project due for school and I was told by my professor in advance that I had like 2 months to do it, and I waited to the day before to do it, and I aced the fuck out of it. But I think I just work better under pressure, because I know I've said my podcast come out on Wednesdays, and I know that it takes me a while to do it, and then it takes me a while to edit it, and yet I still every time will do everything else other than my podcast until basically the morning of. These cats are determined. They must know Wednesdays are the podcast days, because every time they do some shit to interrupt my podcast. So I think a lot of us were counting down the days, hours, minutes until New Year's, because we were kind of just done with 2023. I know me specifically, completely done with, like, 2023 could be thrown away in the trash, garbage disposal, turn it on, never to be seen again. I really would be okay. So I ended 2023 in the mountains. I took my best friend, her birthday's coming up, so I took my best friend to the mountains. I was like, we're gonna just go escape, We're two single moms. Did the snow tubing thing. Got lost a couple times on the mountain, lost service, kind of forgot about that whole thing. So I was trying to find our way around. Met some weird guy on the mountain. I don't know where the fuck he came from. That's more my concern, is we were literally in the middle of a mountain. The road was closed. We were trying to get to the top of Mount Mitchell. Okay. I was wondering why it said that 15 miles was going to take over 2 hours. I was like, there's no way. The GPS must be acting up because we're in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't. We drove about 35 minutes, got to the street where it then had a sign that said hazardous conditions, you must walk the rest of the way, which was then going to take the other 2 hours. And with 3 young children, that wasn't happening. So there we were. The problem was we had no service to reroute us anywhere. So we were pretty much just going blindly down this mountain, hoping that we found some form of civilization. But the way me and my best friend's mind works is we see things and then we're like, oh, look how pretty that is. We have to stop and take a picture of it. So there we were going down the mountain. And we saw this stream. It looked like something out of a fucking fairy tale book. It was beautiful. So I was like, must stop the car. We're going to get out. We're going to take a picture, and a video of this fucking stream. I don't know. I'm not sure where this gentleman came from. All I know is she's coming back to the car. I look over to my right. There's a gentleman standing at my window, saying, talk. He didn't look approachable from inside the car. So I wasn't going to roll my window down. I have street smarts. I know what certain people look like and what their intentions are. And it wasn't good. So she got in the car. We immediately drove off. He's standing behind the car going like this as we're driving off. We wanted no parts of it. Like, we are very adventurous. We are very on our toes. We had our children with us, so we were in mama bear mode, So thankfully for him, he just let us go and didn't try to go in front of the car, because he would have been ran over in the middle of a mountain. No one would have found him ever. But anyway, so then we go down the mountain. We find our way back, um, get back. We stop at some overlooks, took some beautiful fucking pictures. If anybody ever visits North Carolina, you must go to the mountains. Like, just go to the west. At any point on the west, just go to the west and look at the mountains. It's beautiful. So we do that. It was New Year's Eve, so we were obviously going to be celebrating. We had the kids. We were all excited. I was like, who would have known? Who would have known this person here, is running a beautiful panoramic view balcony house in the mountains for New Year's. After the year I had, I was like, I don't even know how I made it to New Year's. So the fact that I'm celebrating on this beautiful house in the middle of nowhere with my best friend is pretty fucking awesome. So I was like patting myself on the back, all proud of myself. New Year's comes, we count down, blah, blah, Happy New Year's to everybody, all that good shit. We then decide that we are going to go outside. We're in the middle of a mountain. It's pitch black. It's quiet as hell. And we were like, we could probably hear our echo if we go outside and say Happy New Year to the wilderness, because why not? Everyone thought it was a great idea. So that's what we were going to go do. So we go out to the balcony. We scream out, Happy New Year! Woo! For all the fucking bears and shit to hear so they don't feel left out. And we go back in the house and everything's fine. We're like, all right, it's time to go to bed. We got to wake up early, go snow tubing. So get the kids, in bed. And the way that this house was set up, it was a downstairs that had bedrooms. And then there was 2 bedrooms upstairs. So we let the kids kind of have their little gaming and frat room downstairs, and then we had the upstairs. It's like our little mini vacation from the vacation, just be upstairs away from the kids. So we put them to bed downstairs. We're like, it's getting to be pretty late, almost 2 o'clock. We need to get to bed, so let's go lay down. So she goes to her room on one side. I go to my room on the other side. I'm laying there on my phone as I normally would because who needs sleep? And she comes like running over. Now, mind you, my best friend is not scared easily. Okay? She is tough as nails. Like, I'll get scared before she does. Comes running in and says, are the kids okay? I said, yeah, we're sleeping. She's like, did you hear that? I said, hear what? She's like, something just screamed really loud. I said, no, the fuck it didn't. I was up. I didn't hear anything. What are you talking about? She said, something just screamed and woke me out of my sleep. Negative, Captain. Didn't happen. So she's like, okay, that's weird. I'm going to go lay back down. So she goes, lays back down. I will say maybe 10 minutes later, after she's already laying down. Okay. I'm laying with my back towards the door. I hear footsteps coming in. I'm like, oh shit, she heard something again. She can just stay with me in here. Hear the footsteps. I have my back turned. I was like, Jen? That's her name. Her name's Jen. I was like, Jen? I don't get an answer. So I turn around my flashlight because I had the lights off because I'm trying to eventually go to sleep. So I put my phone with the flashlight, put it towards the door to look at her. She's not there. So now I'm yelling out. I'm like, hey, Jen, did you just come to my door? Are you okay? She's like, what? I said, did you just come to my door? Are you okay? She's like, I've been in bed. Nope. The way that I heard actual footsteps come to my door and to my room, mind you, the house is built from like wood. It's like a cabin. So you hear all the creaks like of you walking around. It was a no for me. So I instantly got up, turned on all the lights because now I'm done. We're done here. We were about to drive back home at 2 a.m. I go into her room. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't actually feel comfortable with the kids being downstairs because I don't know what's going on. Something's not right. The air doesn't feel right. Let's just go downstairs and sleep downstairs with the kids. So we go downstairs, we get ourselves situated in their room. We're laying there wide awake because we're scared as hell. She starts looking up if the area has any experiences, and it apparently is one of like the top 15 most haunted areas. So moral of the story is look up where you're going before you go. And if you're in the middle of nowhere, maybe don't disturb the peace by saying Happy New Year. They don't want it. And they will make sure that you're aware of it, because I definitely was leaving the house to go back home and almost fell down the stairs. So that was my last cue. I was like, it's not worth it to me. I'm sorry. So I apologize to the house. I apologize to anybody that was in the house that got disturbed by whatever we caused, because then I just started feeling like I was having bad luck. And I was like, I fucked up. I fucked up on day 1 of the new year. Now I'm cursed. Go snow tubing. I see my gas is kind of low, but I'm like, it's not that far. Whatever. I'm sure there's gas stations over there. It's a snow tubing place. We go. It says gas is half a mile that way. So I said, cool. Let's do our snow tubing. When we leave, I'll get gas. I was pretty low. My fault, but it said there was a gas station nearby, so it was no big deal. We do the snow tubing, we get in the car. I start driving the half mile to the gas station, pull up to the gas station. I'm not sure what signage needs to be updated, but that gas station is no longer usable. The pumps are in pieces. Okay, it's in literal pieces. So now I'm in panic mode because, again, I don't know where I'm at. I have about 12 miles before I'm running out. I don't see a gas station in sight. There's no civilization. So I'm like, we're gonna run out of gas in the middle of the mountain. We're able to get service after standing outside looking like fucking aliens with antennas. And for any of you that are listening and can't see, just go to my fucking YouTube so you can see it. But if you're not and you're on Spotify or something, I had my phone up to my head like an antenna outside. And I'm just trying to get service so that I can find the nearest gas station, which happened to be about 7 miles away. I had 12 miles left to go. So with, if all went well, I was going to make it. Thankfully, all went well, and I made it. Barely. But I made it, and that's all that matters. But that was my first, I shouldn't have yelled into the woods, and for that I am sorry. And if whatever was upset at me for it, please spare me, because I can't have another bad year. It was absolutely beautiful. The views, they look unreal. It looks like a backdrop. Like if you've never been to like mountains, and I'm not saying like the Poconos, like real mountains, like somewhere that has a mountain range that you can stand at an overlook and see, you must do it before you die. It's a must do before you die, because that shit looks unreal. I'm gonna have so much editing to do on this video. I'm gonna be up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. My New Year's resolution is to stop fucking procrastinating. That's what I need to do. Stop procrastinating on everything. There's just something about Coca-Cola. That cocaine that's in there. There's just something about it. I've never done cocaine. I heard it's amazing. I never have. But if it's anything like Coca-Cola, anyway. I don't know how I don't get obese. I need to be studied. I need to be studied by researchers on whatever's in my metabolism. Because the way that I eat, something ain't right. Like I had a cheesesteak I had a cheesesteak for lunch. I have soda all day. I literally drink soda all day. Like, you motherfuckers wake up in the middle of the night and go get water because you're thirsty. I'm going and getting soda. I literally drink soda all day and night. And now it's like 1:40 and I'm eating Tastykakes and Almond Joys. And I'm not pregnant. So, I don't know. Anyway, I just did a video today. If you didn't see it, it's on my Instagram and it's on TikTok, which you should be following me on TikTok and Instagram and all this other shit anyway. Because if you're not, that just doesn't even make fucking sense. But anyway, I made this video and I was saying, you know, because everyone likes to pull out the new year, new me shit. And I said, you know, don't pull that. Don't pull that new year, new me shit at work. Because that is the same job, that is your same boss, and that is your same HR department. And they don't give a flying fuck if you think this new year is making you a new you. Your ass still will get fired if you act up. So keep the new year, new me mentality for all other life events, not your job. Because some of you get bold. You know, I'm all for the restart. I'm all for the refreshing of the new year. I think it's great to have something to look forward to give your kind of self a fresh start, a clean foundation to start on. Not that anyone actually does. But I think it's a good idea to have something like that. But it does not apply to all aspects of your life. You have to know what it can apply to. It can apply to relationships, whether that be family, friends, actual relationships, which I don't actually think fucking exist anymore. I'm pretty sure relationships don't exist anymore. I'm just saying. But it can apply to all aspects depending on the circumstances. You know? It can't be new year, new me to everything. It does not apply to everything because there are certain things that you have to be the old you in as your job. You could be a better you. You cannot be, you cannot pull the new year, new me. Certain things are relying on you still being the same fucking person. Okay? You could be a better version, but you can't switch it up. You can't, I wouldn't recommend. But I think it's good. I think it's good that a lot of people use this time to reflect on things. I know I sure as fuck have, you know, because 2023 really tried me on many levels. And this year I started slightly being selfish last year when I made some decisions that were going to be beneficial to me in the short and long run. I started being a little bit selfish when I decided that I wanted to be happy because I deserve to be happy. But this year I really decided that I'm going to be everything and anything that I want to be. And that's going to be consisting of whatever it is at that time, because it could change. It could change from month to month, because I honestly don't know. I pretty much just go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. That's just how I am. Whatever happens, happens, and I'll adjust as it happens. There's a couple things that ended 2023 on that I just wasn't feeling. And I tried to give it another shot. You know, I did like a 1-day trial for January 1st into January 2nd of maybe I'll try to bring these things or people or whatever into my new year. It's negative. It was free trial has ended. The free trial has ended. So don't expect things to be the same, because they're not going to be. Whole saying that not everyone needs to have a seat at your table is 100% accurate, because most of the people that are sitting at your table don't actually even want to eat your fucking food. And even if it's delicious, they're going to criticize it anyway. So it's like, who needs that negativity? Who needs that negativity in your life? And anything that doesn't feel good, if something does not feel right, if something feels off, if something feels confusing, if something feels as though you are putting a little bit of too much effort into something to feel normal or to feel good, it's not for you. If you are not learning as you're living, then you're not actually living. There's just no other way around it. But I think especially during these times with social media and stuff. We try to force so much. Can't force everything. Some things have to come naturally. And I've realized that with even dating. I want the person that is gonna date me and actually be with me, they're gonna have a lot. They're gonna have a lot to deal with. I am I'm a whole package, but I come with a lot of pieces. Once you put all the pieces together, it is a masterpiece. But I come with a lot of pieces. My instructions may or may not have made it with the box. And if they did, they may be missing a couple pages. But I realized that whoever comes into my life for that purpose, because I truly do believe people serve purposes in your life and seasons, whoever comes into my life to serve that purpose isn't going to need instructions. They're going to figure it out along the way, and they're going to put that shit together and have the masterpiece at the end. So I'm not really too concerned about it as I was. I think I was so used to being in that role of needing to fulfill that role for somebody and needing to be somebody for somebody. I've always been very much a fixer and everybody, like, because I'm constantly trying to be something for somebody. And this year I really have decided that I'm gonna be selfish. It's hard to say that because I'm a mom. So being selfless is more my go-to because I'm a mom. But at some point you really have to realize that you can't be everything for everybody and nothing for yourself. It's really draining. If it's something that I know I cannot change and that I'm never going to be able to change no matter what I do or say, it's going to be a no for me. I'm not wasting my time or energy on it. If it's something that is inevitably going to not be existing in my life, I'm not going to waste my time on it. I'm very much in the era of good company, good people with good intentions, and just more than the bare minimum, because I've accepted the bare minimum for a very long time, and I've just come to realize I'm very deserving of way more than the bare minimum. My go-to for this upcoming year is, if you are not a part of my life, it is for a very good damn reason, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to cut people out. But it's going to take less this year because I'm not wasting time. Time is of the essence, and being in my life is very much a privilege, and that's what people need to start focusing on. Everyone makes their own decisions, and this year you need to start holding people accountable for their actions or inactions. Somehow along the way it's been lost, this whole actions speak louder than words thing. The sticks and stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me. That's out the window. That's far gone. Words hurt everybody now. So somehow that got lost in translation. But the actions speak louder than words is that somehow that's just non-existent anymore. It doesn't really make sense, because I'm pretty sure that you can go into an interview for a job and you can tell them how great you are, and you can tell them that you can do this and you can do that, and then you go to that job and you don't do that shit, you're gonna get fired. You probably won't even get a warning. You're just going to get fired. But yet, in our day in life now, people will say what they're going to do and say how great things are, but then their actions show the complete opposite. And then we're sitting there like dumbasses, like, oh, maybe something happened. We make up excuses for. I'm going to start treating people like a job. That's exactly what I'm going to start doing. You applied for this position to be in my life in some form, whatever form you applied to be in. If you do not meet the expectations within the first 90-day probation period, you're just going to be cut off. You're going to be fired in my life. And you start not meeting the expectations of whatever position you applied for when you came into my life, then you will be fired. I'm not one that needs a big circle. I literally have about 3 friends in real life, and they've been friends for a very long time. So I'm not one that needs attention from everybody. As most of you know, I do not care what people think. And I don't need the validation from anybody. I really just want genuine people. I don't actually need anybody. I just want genuine people, because it's good to have good people in your life. So if there's any words of wisdom I can give for 2024, it's start treating people like employees, as bad as that sounds. Hold them accountable for whatever specific role they applied for to be in your life. Because if not, you're just carrying dead weight. And what the hell is the point of carrying dead weight when you're trying to get further in life? It's just holding yourself back, and that's just stupid to do. This is day 2 of the new year, okay? And my day 2 was already attempted to be ruined. And it almost did. It almost did, only because my attitude going into this year is like, you want to hurt my feelings, I'm going to hurt your feelings back times 10. It used to be times 5, now it's times 10. You know, I'm a little bit more ruthless this year. But it was attempted to be ruined. And then I realized how much I have, and how misery truly loves company. And that is the most truest statement that can ever be said. Misery truly does love company. And if you don't have good people in your circle, and you don't have good people surrounding you, and you don't have a good support system, it will get to you. But thankfully for me, I do. So, you know, I also had a pound of chocolate cake waiting for me at home. So I just, how can you let negativity phase you when you have a pound of basically Hershey cream chocolate pie at home? You need to remind yourself of who the fuck you are. That's as simple as I can put it. You know, there's been, I look back at relationships, situationships, friendships, and at all the in between. And I realized how many times I literally forgot who I fucking am. Someone needed to fucking slap me, because, not to toot my own horn, but toot. You know, it's like everyone thinks I have this like long roster, okay? I don't. I'm very selective on who gains access to me. And if you pass multiple levels and gain access to me and you still fuck it up, typically I would give like chance after chance after chance after chance for a long time, years even. And this year I decided, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? That's ending. So 2024 is going to be definitely a year of, my 3-strike rule has now been reduced to 1. I used to have a 3-strike rule. 3 strikes you're out. It always used to turn into like 25 strikes, but this year it's like 1, because you know better. We're all grown. We all know better. So if you feel that I'm not deserving, it's not meant to be, and that's just going to be accepted, and we're going to move on and move forward, because there's way too many people in this fucking world to be wasting my time, and there's way too little time to be wasted. Remind people sometimes, and sometimes that comes in a form of tough love. You can love them, you can like them, you can think that they're the greatest person in the world, but it is not for you to exceed to compensate for what they are lacking. That's not what we're doing this year. We're not doing that this year. So, and to the people that I left in 2023, do not make any attempts to come into 2024, because your time has expired. Next podcast will probably be something funny, because I'm sure some bullshit will happen between now and next Wednesday. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But I appreciate you guys for tuning into my podcast. One day, hopefully they'll, you know, make an impression on somebody and help somebody in some form or fashion. Anyway, stay safe, stay level-headed, stay humble this year. You can be a new year, new you, but still be the same you. Don't conform or change yourself too much to try to be something that you're not. I hope if you have a New Year's resolution, you actually keep it, because I know you motherfuckers are not going to, but I hope you do. And I hope you just strive for having the best year, because the year is truly what you make it. I know that sounds cliche, it sounds stupid, but your decisions really do base your entire life, your day-to-day, what you decide to do, from the smallest of things to the biggest of things, really does determine how your days and your years go. You can sit at home and do nothing and mope about the fact that your life sucks, or you can say, you know what, I need kind of a break, I'm stressed out, and you can go drive somewhere new for free, because you know what? America has a bunch of free shit you can go see that's absolutely breathtaking and beautiful, like fucking mountains and beaches and shit. It doesn't cost a fucking thing other than the gas to get there. So, you know, there's maybe people that are living these lavish lives and lavish vacations and making you think on social media that it's not possible. It's not true. Social media is fake. If you just took your ass on a nice little road trip, okay, you would sightsee the fuck out of America and you would feel refreshed and renewed and feel like you just went on a lavish fucking vacation. So just remember that there is beauty within everything amongst us. You just have to actually look for it. But I just hope that everybody stays true to themselves this year. Be a better version of yourself. Work on yourself. Be honest with yourself about what your problems are. And just work on them so you can be a better you. Stop trying to fill voids with materialistic things or temporary people. Be patient with yourself. Not everything comes when you think it's going to come. Sometimes it comes when you least expect it. And just work hard. You know, hard work does pay off. And that sometimes gets lost when you see people have an overnight success. It's not typical. It's not typical, and most likely it's not going to happen. You do have to put the work in. And if you don't put the work in and expect things just to be handed to you, then you're going to be living a long life of disappointment, because it's not typically the case. So to all the people that I am bringing in to 2024 with me, thank you. I appreciate you guys for being real ones. You guys are the real MVPs. Some of you I know personally, some of you I've met through social media over this past year, and I am truly grateful for you guys. You guys have really helped me through a really hell of a year, and by hell I mean like literally kind of a hell of a year. So I appreciate you guys again. I'm excited for what the new year is going to bring all of us. As always, you guys are always welcome to email me. You can email me. The email is sorryNotSorry_podcast@outlook.com. You can email me any questions, answers you need, any stories you want to tell. I'll be more than happy to share them, as long as they're not anything too crazy. Good night, good morning, assholes.